What if everything you thought you knew about our planet flipped? The sun rising in the west, the Amazon River flowing backward, ocean winds defying history itself. It sounds impossible, like science fiction. But what would actually happen if Earth suddenly started spinning the other way? Would civilization survive? Or would it trigger a global chain reaction that rewrites the rules of nature as we know them? In this video, we're diving into one of the strangest what-ifs imaginable, a complete reversal of Earth's rotation. From shifting weather systems to collapsing ecosystems, the consequences are bigger than you think. So stick around, because what you're about to learn might forever change how you see our planet. Have you ever wondered? Is the Earth spinning right now? The answer is yes. And it's not spinning slowly either. Earth rotates from west to east, which is why the sun always rises in the east and sets in the west. It's not the sun that's moving, it's us, rotating around it. If you're standing at the equator, you're actually moving at about 1,670 kilometers per hour, over 1,000 miles per hour, faster than a jet. But you don't feel it, because everything around you, the air, buildings, trees, is moving at the same speed. It's kind of like sitting in a smooth-flying airplane. You're soaring through the sky at high speed, but it doesn't feel like it at all. But here's the incredible part. This rotation controls almost everything on Earth. We have day and night because of it. Without rotation, there would be no sunrise or sunset, no 24-hour cycle. And it doesn't stop there. Wind patterns, ocean currents, weather, and climate, they're all shaped by the Earth's spin. It's like hitting the start button on a giant machine that keeps our planet running. There's also an unsung hero behind the scenes, the Coriolis force. Ever notice that storms spin counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere and clockwise in the southern hemisphere? That's the Coriolis effect at work. Because Earth spins, anything moving across its surface, air, ocean water, storms, gets slightly deflected. Without this force, the global weather system would be chaotic and unpredictable. So, why does the Earth rotate from west to east in the first place? Scientists believe it all goes back to when the Earth was just forming. Back then, it was a swirling cloud of gas and dust. As it collapsed in on itself to become a planet, it started spinning. And once something in space starts spinning, physics says it keeps spinning. Same direction, same momentum. Billions of years later, we're still watching the sun rise each morning, all thanks to that one fateful spin. What would happen if the Earth started spinning backwards? Now imagine this. One fine day, Earth decides to reverse its spin. Instead of rotating from west to east like it always has, it suddenly starts spinning from east to west. Sounds harmless? Think again. A seemingly small change like this could trigger a catastrophic domino effect across the entire planet. First thing that happens? The sun rises in the west and sets in the east. Everything you've ever known about time, orientation, and direction, out the window. But that's just the beginning. Reversing the Earth's spin doesn't just mess up your compass, it throws the entire global climate engine into chaos. Let's start with the oceans. Major currents like the Gulf Stream, which normally transport warm water from the Gulf of Mexico to Europe, would reverse. Which means Europe. Say goodbye to mild winters. Without that warm current, countries like the UK or France could freeze like the Arctic. Meanwhile, cooler regions today might suddenly become unbearably hot. Now for the winds. The trade winds, those steady air currents that help regulate weather, would also flip direction. And that alone is enough to throw global rainfall patterns into disarray. The craziest part? The Sahara Desert, one of the driest places on Earth, might turn into a lush green paradise. With moisture-rich winds replacing hot, dry ones, those endless dunes could bloom into forest. But at the same time, Southeast Asia, currently lush and rain-soaked, could plunge into drought. Sounds like science fiction. Actually, it's a real-life disaster scenario. Fertile lands could turn barren, crops would fail, ecosystems would collapse, plants and animals unable to adapt, extinct. And that's not all. Our entire navigation system, GPS, satellites, air travel routes, are all built around Earth's current rotation. Reverse that? Everything goes haywire. Planes would need new flight maps. GPS systems could glitch constantly. Want to launch rockets into orbit? Start over from scratch. So after all this chaos, the big question remains: how will humanity adapt? The answer is not easily. First, we'd have to rebuild our entire agricultural system from scratch. The crops we've relied on for hundreds of years might no longer grow where they used to. Rain will fall in places where it never did before. Seasons will become unpredictable. That means we'll need to develop entirely new ways to grow food, possibly indoor farming, vertical agriculture, or technologies that haven't even been invented yet. And it's not just crops that will need to relocate. People will too. Mass migrations may occur as once inhabitable regions become too hot, too dry, or too cold. The bustling cities of today might be abandoned, replaced by new settlements in places no one ever considered living. And as people move in huge numbers while resources grow scarce, conflict is almost inevitable. Wars over land, fresh water, food, even clean air could easily break out. But there could be another path, a better one. Maybe this global shock will force us to rethink everything, from how we design cities and distribute resources to how we live in harmony with the planet. This could be the wake-up call that pushes humanity not just to survive, but to live smarter and more sustainably. However, the challenge doesn't stop with society or agriculture. It also lies within the human body itself. We're biologically wired to follow a 24-hour rhythm tied to Earth's rotation. If the sun suddenly rises from the opposite direction, our internal clocks would be thrown into chaos. Sleep disorders, hormonal imbalances, and declining mental health could become global issues. And it wouldn't be just humans affected. Migratory birds rely on the sun to navigate. Whales and sea turtles use Earth's magnetic field and rotational cues to find their way. Once those signals vanish, they'll become lost. Reproduction cycles will falter, migration patterns will collapse, and entire ecosystems could unravel. So, could this really happen? Could Earth actually reverse its rotation, flipping day and night as we know them upside down? Well, let's be clear. The chances of Earth spinning in the opposite direction are virtually zero. Under the current laws of physics, that's almost impossible. There's simply too much momentum, too much stability keeping our planet spinning the way it does. But there's something else that is very real: geomagnetic reversal. In the past, Earth's magnetic poles have flipped many times, and even now, they're slowly drifting. Some scientists believe we might be heading toward another flip. It's not the same as reversing the planet's rotation, but it's dramatic enough to raise a powerful question. Are we underestimating just how fragile natural systems can be? So no, Earth likely won't start spinning backward anytime soon. But the mere idea is still worth thinking about. It forces us to reflect on just how delicate this planet really is, and how deeply we depend on it. Even a small change, even just a theoretical one, is enough to remind us that Earth isn't some unbreakable machine. And maybe it's time we start treating it like the precious home that it is. Want to join us in exploring more fascinating science stories like this? Make sure to subscribe, share this video, and help spread a new perspective on the world around us. Thanks so much for watching.